Legendary, even French actress Catherine Deneuve says that men should still be free to, quote, hit on women. She's one of 100 well-known French women who penned an open letter saying that men are being too swiftly punished, their careers too quickly ruined, their reputations tarnished, and their families destroyed, sometimes for decades-old allegations about an inappropriate touch or advance. The letter warned about a new, quote, puritanism that's taking foot and even spiraling out of control at the expense of due process. Joining me now in our studio, I have our correspondents Bianca Zanini and Maya Margit. Maya, let's start with you about, especially with this open letter and the impact this is having. It's touching a nerve, A, because it comes from a woman who's very well regarded and respected in Europe, but is she onto something here? Her calls that this is a puritanism being, spiraling out of control, what do people think?
Well, what the letter does say is that the MeToo campaign, though necessary, for them, they feel that it's moved a little bit too far, these women who signed this letter. They say that it's become puritanical, that there's no longer any kind of option for discussion. People are being, every little comment is turned into social media outrage, or it's very difficult to have any kind of discourse that goes outside of what's accepted, which is a very small, narrow window of definition. So they're very much against this, and I'll read a quote from it. It's what began as freeing people up to speak about sexual violence has today turned into the opposite. We intimidate people into speaking, quote, correctly, shout down those who don't fall into line, and those women who refuse to bend to the new realities are regarded as complicit and traitors.
It's a story certainly making headlines around the world. Bianca, even in America, just a few weeks ago, I think Matt Damon, he got in a lot of trouble for saying that we're living in a culture of outrage. Not all allegations are created equal. We have to recognize there's a spectrum. There was backlash to that, and Alyssa Milano, another actress, said, look, it's all cancer. Sometimes there's different stages, different types of cancer, but sexual harassment is still cancer. You have to attack it. You have to expose it. You have to be honest about it. It's really hard. I mean, this is to understand. There's different trains of thought here on really the best way to address this problem.
Absolutely right, and it's not simple at all. People say Me Too, and they think it's just one thing. It touches a lot of things, and this discussion right here, what happened with this letter, it goes back to one of the oldest, most central discussions in feminism, which is when you focus too much on the power imbalance, what men do wrong. You victimize and you infantilize women, you take away their agency, and that's what they are protesting. Now, whether they might have gone too far in their protest is something else, but they have one point. It is important to be careful not to become Puritan and to ensure that we live in a society where if you accuse someone, you're innocent until proven guilty. But at the same time, on the other hand, the Me Too campaign is exactly meant to give a voice to those who don't have a voice. It's exactly there to empower and to create agency, and it's very, very important.
One thing she touched on in her letter, the idea that, men, if they make an advance on a woman, ask a woman out, make a hug or a touch that's not wanted, it's not necessarily harassment. They were hitting on a woman. Where do you draw the line?
Well, that's very personal, and it's a very difficult question. We were talking earlier, right before the show. Let's take catcalling or men staring at you at the street. Like, a lot of women actually enjoy that until a certain point. But the bigger picture is, it's not whether or not you enjoy being flirted at or being looked at. It's that the public space is owned by men, and you have very little to say whether or not you want to be looked at or whether or not you want to be catcalled. So basically, you have very little voice and very little agency, and that's what we're trying to change.
There's also the issue of consent. I mean, at some point, when someone says that they're not interested in those sexual advances, then the other person has to stop. And that's the problem with this letter, is that it says that an unwanted knee touch or, unwanted sexual messages should be accepted. And I definitely disagree with that. They should not be accepted, especially depending on the environment where they happen. If they happen in an appropriate environment outside of work, then fine. But if it's in a work environment and there's, a boss and their employee, it's a very different dynamic. So the power dynamic has to be looked at.
All right, and staying on this issue, just hours after accepting an acting award at the Golden Globes, James Franco found himself in the hot seat himself. He faces allegations of inappropriate behavior around young women, even an allegation of sexual misconduct. He wore a pin to that award show indicating his support for the movement, and then was attacked for being insensitive and hypocritical. And he was asked directly about that incident when he appeared after the Golden Globes on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
The things that I heard that were on Twitter are not accurate, but I completely support people coming out and being able to have a voice, because they didn't have a voice for so long. So I don't want to, you know, shut them down in any way. It's I think a good thing, and I support it.
I mean, this happened just hours ago. I mean, he did not expect to be asked that question, but even he's facing allegations, really, of inappropriate advances on young women.
Yes, and it's not the first time. This happened during the Golden Globes when he accepted an award for, you know, the Disaster Artist, this new film that came out. And in 2014, there was a similar kind of accusation, which he admitted to, where he tried to invite a 17-year-old to his hotel room in New York. You know, it's not that it's necessarily entirely illegal, but it is kind of sleazy behavior, if I'm permitted to say so. And he didn't admit to these latest accusations, even though on Twitter and on social media, several actresses did accuse him openly and public shamed him.
Just a quick round up to that is that it's about the power imbalance. When a man has the power and then takes advantage of it, that's what it's about.
Thank you both, Maya and Bianca, for this discussion. An important story that still stays in the headlines. I appreciate your analysis as correspondents, as women, and as professionals. Thank you so much.